Hello everybody. It's Hedwig here and I'm back with yet another video. This part focused more on a blooming friendship, so it lacks a bit of action in the plot. I wanted Hinata to realize real friendship once again, after his trauma with bullying. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Once again, Hinata was in a ragged bus, dozing off. There were a few others in the bus, most likely other privates. We're here. Kaido fiddled with his luscious chestnut hair. To Hinata, he seemed like an overall bright person, like the old him. It was pretty obvious, for he wore a blinding smile. Guys, introduce yourselves. Hello, I'm Private Hinata. Private Akira. Hello. I'm Izumi, and I'm a private. Izumi. Yes, Corporal Kaido? You can get in trouble for introducing yourselves like that. You should say Private Izumi, okay? I don't want you to get in trouble. Thank you for the advice, sir. No problem. Anyways, as you know, I'm Corporal Kaido. You can trust me. I'm a nice guy. Akira gave Kaido a weird look. Who straight up says they're a nice guy? To Akira's relief, Kaido didn't notice the dirty look, and continued on with his speech. Everyone is pretty much nice in our unit. Oh. Be careful about K-pop idols around Private First Class Sora. I guess you can call him a toxic fan, so he's quite the devil to NCT fans. He's a die-hard simp for BTS though. So are any of you ARMY? I am, Corporal Kaido. Well, that's great for you. You won't have any trouble with Private First Class Sora. Next up is Corporal Tama. He's, well, crazy. Crazy? He has civilian criminal charges for drug possession. He almost got kicked out. There's rumors he may be a drug dealer, but there isn't enough evidence yet. Anyways, just be cautious of him, okay? Yes, Corporal Kaido. Great. And lastly, Corporal Kazu. He gives me chills. He's cold, strict, that's all. Thank you for the advice, sir. No problem. And look, we already arrived. Hinata looked up to see a blocky white building, with an occasional scratch here, and peeled paint there. Kaido ushered the boys down the hallway, and into a small room, filled with cramped bunks. Hello. Privates? Why yeah. Alright. Kazu walked away, leaving the poor little chipmunk behind. Told you? He's super intimidating. Hinata nodded silently and looked around the room. First impressions were often incorrect, but the complexions of many concerned him. They seemed terribly deprived of rest. Anyways, those are your beds. Kaido pointed to 3 bunk beds in the corner, with a closet to put their belongings in. Hinata quietly unpacked his khaki rucksack and carefully arranged his belongings in the closet. He pasted a small picture of his family and Kajiyama, snug on the inside. Then he rammed all his clothes and belongings into the closet and slammed the door. As soon as he was finished, he slumped onto his bed and proceeded to rest. The next day, get out. All soldiers in the barracks rushed outdoors. They were just 2 words, but they stung and resonated. Hinata had arrived at a little patch outdoors. Private First Class Sora ordered all privates to get into a line and pay attention to the trainer. The exhausting continuation of reps and sets wore the entire unit out. By the end, Hinata was puffing for air. Even for a stamina monster like him, physical training was challenging and pushed him to his limits. He was drenched in sweat by the end, just like the grande finale of a volleyball game. All the others around him were sprawled out on the high ground, their eyelids heavily drooping. Hinata turned around, noticing Akira, who seemed the most worn out. He reminded Hinata of Kenma, an old friend from high school. What are you looking at? Nothing. Huh? Whatever. The short meeting was abruptly interrupted by a new command. Follow me. A bundle of soldiers entered the range and took their spots. Hinata grazed the gun. He had now taken an interest to shooting, so much that his love for it could rival his of volleyball. He took a deep breath and aimed right at the center of the target and hit bullseye. During his time at the boot camp, he had practiced a lot. Now, hitting the center was a normal occasion. As expected, the next several shots all hit near center, shocking many at the range. They knew he was called the shooter deity in boot camp, but they didn't know, well, the extent of his skill. Hinata turned around, noticing the presence of Izumi. Hello? Question mark. I'm Private Izumi. I suck at shooting. And? Can you help me? Hinata normally ignored these calls for help, But Izumi's actions reminded him of his high school years, when he courageously approached Shiwaka for advice. It brought out some sort of will to protect Izumi's cheerful side. Sure. Yay. Hinata normally ignored these calls for help, but Izumi's actions reminded him of his high school years, when he courageously approached Shiwaka for advice. It brought out some sort of will to protect Izumi's cheerful side. You need to practice the basics. What does that mean? You suck. Huh? Izumi slumped down, gloomy from the previous comment. You rely too much on instinct. Your basic knowledge, like reloading the gun quickly, must be practiced. You must remember to stay still and control your breath when shooting. You're too reckless. Oh, okay. Thank you. Hinata noticed Izumi hesitating to say something. What is it? Huh? You want to say something? How did you know? So, you know Akira? The other private? I just noticed he was struggling as well. And? If it's not too much work for you, would you be able to help him as well? Hinata stopped for a moment, contemplating whether he should accept this request. He didn't want to, since it was a waste of time. However, he did take a liking to Izumi and was curious about Akira, so he accepted. Alright. But why would you want to help him? Well, we're all in the same situation, and it'd be bad to be left behind. Hinata quickly caught on that Izumi must have had an unpleasant experience about being left behind. He wondered what exactly it was, but didn't dare ask. Akira was shooting several bullets, every single one missing the target. Hinata approached the boy, examining his posture. There was nothing wrong with Akira's skill. He had honed it very well, but the problem was his strength. He was far too weak to hold up the heavy gun steadily. What are you looking at? Whoa, calm down. I'm here to help. Help? Yeah. You totally need to work out more. You're barely holding up that thing. That's all I have to say. Why are you helping me out anyways? That dude over there told me to. Izumi? You know him? Not really. Alright then. Bye. Hinata didn't think much of his encounter with the two boys, but for the next few days, they clung on to him like children. Every time Hinata passed by, Izumi would ask for feedback on his posture. Even Akira was trying harder, for he was doing exercises often. During the process, Hinata had gotten much closer to the two. Although this was not part of Hinata's plan, it surely did lift his spirits immensely. At the barracks. It seems you're having trouble with your belongings. Should I help? Yes please, I'm struggling here. No problem. Hinata started calmly organizing the several thingamabobs into the closet. However, Izumi seemed to have overly stuffed his bag, so several items were still left. What should I do? How about getting rid of these? Cautious. I can't do that. Why? Before I enlisted, lots of people entrusted me with charms and little figures. To wish me good luck, I couldn't dare reject their kindness, so I brought them all. Oh, I guess, you can put them on the top of the closet? Oh my gosh, you genius. Thank you. No problem, I guess. Hinata noticed Akira secretively moving to the restrooms, as if not to be caught. It wasn't like Hinata wanted to investigate, maybe just a little, but he also needed to go to the bathroom. Therefore, Hinata crept into the bathroom, surprising the emo boy. Akira was holding onto a Nintendo Switch, loading into Zelda, Breath of the Wild. It's not what it looks like. Hey, isn't that Zelda? Why, you know Zelda? Yeah. Oh, I'm just started yesterday, so I'm stuck on this part. Akira cautiously handed Hinata the console, showing him a robot monster. For this, you just need to use the magnetic power you just got. Use it to lift up that block over there and let it fall on top of the robot. Thanks. No problem. Akira slightly smiled. It has been long since he received pure kindness, without a ruse behind it.